Hi everybody, and welcome to the very first episode of Crafted Conversations with Moriah Sydney. I'm gonna adjust the mic real quick because every single time I talk, literally every single time I talk, it's too loud. And I don't want it to seem like I'm yelling in the mic when I'm not. So I'm gonna turn me down a little bit, and then we're gonna get straight into introductions and just warming up to me because there's a lot I gotta tell y'all before I even get into this episode. I'm gonna turn me down a little bit. Anyways, welcome to the very first episode of Crafted Conversations with me, Moriah Sydney. So, first of all, I just want to say that I rebranded this entire podcast. I'm sorry, I'm trying to make sure I'm not yelling in the mic, but it's okay because I can always turn myself down. Anyway, I rebranded this entire podcast like from scratch. As you know, I literally had this podcast called Black Girl Diaries, and I had made it pop up, I believe, in December, and then posted a couple episodes and went on a hiatus. Sorry, I literally keep doing that with all of my social medias. Do not kill me. Do not hate me. I swear, life just got busy, but I'm trying. I promise y'all I'm trying. Anyway, this podcast was originally called Black Girl Diaries, and then as of literally a couple hours ago today, I had a random thought and I was like, actually, I want to change everything about the podcast. The title, what it's about, the logo. So I did exactly that. And let me tell y'all how I even came up with this title in the first place for my podcast. So I was on TikTok just scrolling and looking at inspiration, and I saw this one podcast called Curated Chaos, I think, and I liked like the double C's. I don't know, it just sounded like something I would want to do. Like, it just sounds so sophisticated and girly, and I was just like, yes. And then let me tell y'all where I went next. Snapchat AI. I was talking to my little AI. Her name is Jordan. That's what I named her. And was literally texting for like a smooth 20-30 minutes, trying to find things with the word conversations in it, because, well, I was going down the list. First I was using Sid because my middle name is Sydney, and so I use Sid on like a lot of my platforms as a nickname. And I started using that, and then I didn't like it. So then I tried Moriah Sydney, didn't like any of those. And I was telling this AI, like, give me 50, 60, 70. Yeah, didn't like any of them. And then I was like, actually, let me start using the word curated. Didn't like any of those. So then I moved to a synonym and found crafted. Then from there, I was like, okay, now I need another word to go with it. And then it came across the word conversations. Put those two together, but then I was like, I kind of want something a little bit more sophisticated, like something with my name in it, so you know that it's my brand, if that makes sense. Smack them all together. Now we got a name. Then I had to go all the way to Canva and make a logo. That was the most stressful part, I'm not even gonna lie, because trying to get all the colors to match, removing the backgrounds. To these graphic designers, kudos to you guys, because it took me an hour and some change to get the name and make the logo, and then make an additional one for profile pictures, and then make a banner for YouTube with the announcements of when my episodes come out. That was a lot, because I posted that I was changing everything around 3 p.m. Did not finish and start announcing everything until 6 p.m. And it is literally 7:38. So the process was processing, but we're here. All announcements are out, and now we are working on episode 1. So let's get straight into it. Well, I guess I should tell you guys a little bit about me first, considering this is the first episode and my introductory episode for my other podcast is what we're going to call it, even though this is the same one, just with a different name and a whole new brand. It's gone. So a little bit about me. Hi, I'm Moriah, your beautiful, beautiful host, and I actually am recording this episode right now on my camera for those of you who are just listening to this audio. And this was also a random impulsive decision. I realized that like the best things that I've ever done for myself are always impulsive when I don't have a whole bunch of thought going into it. because then I can literally come up with the ideas on the go, and I seem to be a lot more creative when I just do them on the fly compared to thinking for days and days and days and plotting for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I'm a lot more consistent when it's on the fly. So anyway, I'm recording this episode right now. This will be going up on YouTube at the same time that this episode goes up on Spotify. But hi, I'm your beautiful host, Moriah, and I'm currently a junior in college with a major in criminology and a minor in forensic bioscience. So you may be asking me, if you have those type of majors and minors, why are you doing things that are digitally based when it has nothing to do with your career path? And let me tell you, it's just something I wanted to do. Like, it's literally just a hobby of mine. I have absolutely no reason to do it. Like, there's nothing pushing me to do it other than myself. There's no like future reward coming out of this that's pushing me to do it. It's literally just me wanting to create content and talk to you guys. So I think that's a little bit about me. I feel like that's enough, because I feel like if I keep sharing more, this is going to start to feel like a YouTube video when I have plenty out and you can know more about me there. So anyway, straight into episode 1. This episode is called It's Okay to Start Over. And I did this on purpose because I quite literally restarted this podcast from scratch, as I already said. So I thought it would be perfect to just talk about starting over and the process of starting over, the doubts, the worries, the anxiety that everybody gets whenever they get into a point in their life where they feel like they have to just throw everything away and start from scratch. And let me tell you guys, starting from scratch is not as bad as everybody makes it seem. Sorry, I had to be the one to tell you guys. It's really not as bad as everybody makes it seem. I 100% understand the stress and the concerns and the worries and the what if I don't do it right, or why does this feel so wrong? But that's the whole point. The point of starting over is to put yourself in an uncomfortable position so you can pop out of that and thrive. If you don't put yourself in that uncomfortable position, how are you ever going to get what you want in life? Now, let me say, there are limitations to this level of uncomfortability, okay? But when I say being uncomfortable, I mean just being uncomfortable mentally and with some of the things around you. Not uncomfortable to the point where you're constantly down and blue and everything else. I mean uncomfortable as in every single time you think you have something figured out, you don't. Or you get into a spot and you're like, I want to have this figured out, but I have no idea how to start. That's the whole point. Starting over puts you in a space that kind of humbles you in a sense, because as people, we literally consciously think that we know everything, that we have everything figured out, we have everything sorted out. And I'm here to tell you that we do not. We are not know-it-alls. We are not dictionaries. We don't have everything figured out, unfortunately. But that's the best part of life. Literally every single day that you come across is an opportunity for you to learn something new, for you to grow, for you to excel, for you to thrive. You can't do all of that if you're avoiding starting over. Starting over is literally inevitable at some points in our lives. And as somebody who has restarted so many times, that's the other thing. You can restart as many times as you want. Do not let anybody tell you that you are not allowed to start over. Do not let anybody make you feel bad for starting over. At the end of the day, do what's best for you. And as somebody who has started over and over again, I can tell you that it is the best thing I will continue to do with my life. Whenever things are going wrong in my life, or I feel like I'm in this weirdly stuck spot and I can't get out of it, or I'm in this mental rut, or every single time I try to do something, it's just never working out, or I started something and now I'm inconsistent, restart. Restart. Press restart on your life and see what happens. And the other thing I can definitely say, tip number 2, I guess we're on maybe number 3. Give yourself time when you start over. You don't just start over and then everything that you want now that you hit reset is going to pop up in the next couple of days. You cannot expect that. It's like if I'm at work and I'm doing everything that I can on the very first day, and then after a while I keep doing this and I'm not getting anywhere, then maybe I should just restart. Restart, get a new job. I feel like that's not a good example though. I feel like I need to give you guys a better one, and one that's more on point with what I'm trying to say. But I can't think of one right now. So really just bear with me, because this is all unplanned. no blueprint. I also feel like I talk the most and talk as thoroughly whenever there's no blueprint, because I'm not sitting here like looking down at my phone trying to figure out what I'm about to say. But case in point is, you cannot hit restart on your life and then expect everything that you want to flow into your life immediately. It is a process. You can't restart and not do any of the work to get what you want. Just like before you restarted, if you weren't doing any of the work that you were supposed to do to even get to where you want to get, you're not going to be able to get it tenfold just because you restarted. That is not how that works. I'll be the one to tell you that too. When you restart, you have to do the work. When it comes to your life in general, you have to do the work. You can't keep sitting here and hitting restart a million times and dropping friends and doing this and doing that and expecting results when you're not doing any work. You can drop a friend, but if you're not doing any work to get over the fact that you just made this decision, what are you getting? What are you benefiting from? I recently learned to put reset on a lot of my emotions when it comes to things, because as we know, well, you guys probably don't know, but I do know, and the people around me know, I feel everything very, 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 very strongly. Like, I'm talking about every single thing that happens, I feel it to my core. My core. Not just my stomach, my core, my heart, my soul. I feel it everywhere. And I recently realized that feeling everything so deeply doesn't get me anywhere all the time. Now granted, I do love my beautiful big heart that I have and my ability to feel my emotions as strongly as I do. However, it doesn't do anything for me but get me hurt. So I personally realized that restarting and resetting my scope of emotions, if that makes sense, like not going emotionless, I still feel everything. I just don't feel it as strongly. And that's because I chose to hit reset, mostly as of today. Because as of yesterday and 2 days ago, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, I was still feeling everything strongly. However, also bear with me, because my speech is like, I don't really know what's happening, but it's just gradually getting worse. So bear with me, because yes, I'm going to edit the video, but I don't think I'm going to edit the audio. I like to keep it as raw and authentic as possible. So yeah. Anyway, I also keep glancing over at the recording. So if you see me, at least in the camera, looking at you guys and then side-eyeing, that's because I'm literally looking at the memo. I don't know why it's so satisfying. But anyway, yeah, I recently hit reset on my scope of emotions because I wanted to be able to still feel everything, but not consume it. Because I literally have a problem with consumption. Like, consumption of what I watch, consumption of what people think around me, consumption of the things people do, consumption of the emotions I feel. Like, everything tends to consume me and literally just keeps tearing me down. Like, I literally felt like every single time I felt all my emotions so strongly, I was starting to continuously pull myself down. It's like, and then I would get mad because it's like, I'm feeling like I'm doing all this work to climb up the ladder, and then the second I feel all my emotions too strongly, I'm pulled back down. It's literally the definition of like 1 step forward and 3 steps back. And it was stressing me out so much to a point where I just had to pause, take a breather today. I've literally not seen a single one of my friends all day because I chose to isolate today and just get the work done that I needed to get done, create all my ideas on my own, because I'm very dependent on the people around me to help me out when it comes to a lot of things. And it literally will come down to stupid stuff like, hey, what pair of shoes am I going to wear today? No. That's the other thing I can tell you guys. When it comes to starting over, change something. Don't just start over because you want to start over. Start over and do something new. Like, I woke up today and stayed up. And for those of you who know me, I literally will sleep until like 12, 1, 2 p.m. Like, half of my day is already gone by the time I get up. But today I woke up at 10 a.m., I believe, and stayed up. Showered, got dressed, went and got breakfast in the morning, went to my office and did work. Like, I've literally been productive all day. I was about to say proactive, but I've literally been productive all day. And it actually feels really good because like my soul feels calm, my mind is at ease. I literally do not have a single thought in my mind. And as somebody who has anxiety, that is very difficult to achieve. It also doesn't last that long. So I'm going to enjoy it while it's here. But when you start over, change something. Like personally for me, one of the things I changed was my morning routine. Getting up and staying up on weekends, even though I have the opportunity to sleep in for both days. I chose to get up and stay up and get out of bed. That's the other thing. It's not like I just got up and stayed in bed. I got up, stayed up, and moved around. Moved my body. Being able to move your body in the morning is honestly one of the healthiest things I've ever chosen to do for myself, because it gets my mind going, but it gets my mind flowing in the positive ways because I wake up proud of myself that I'm up. So change something. Do something new. Whatever wasn't working for you the last time, acknowledge it, recognize it, and shift it. You can't start over and then keep everything the same and expect results. That is definitely not how life works. That's not how anything works. If you want results, you have to be willing to change things. That's point number, I don't even know. So we're going to assume we're on point number 5. Point number 5, do not be afraid of change. I'm clocking everybody who's listening to this, including myself. Do not be afraid of change. You can't start over and then be scared of starting over. Where is that going to get you? Where is that going to get you? Exactly. It's not getting you anywhere. You can't go into everything being afraid of what's going to happen next, because then you're blocking your own blessings. Literally, you're blocking your own blessings by being scared of the blessing. Yes, I just clocked it. I'm quoting that for this year. Because being scared of change will literally make you scared to do the things that you need to do to attain the goals that you want. Attaining new goals is part of change. Literally. You're changing some part of your life to get a goal met, to achieve something that you've always been dreaming of. If you're scared of change, how are you going to get there? Being scared of change stops nothing, but it stops everything. It doesn't stop the world around you, but it sure does stop yours. Change and being scared of it, I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. Change and being scared of it doesn't stop the world around you, but it does stop the one you're living in. Don't be scared of change. Embrace it. And the second you embrace it, then you'll start to get everything you want. You can't get everything you want just by starting over and expecting it, but you can get everything you want by starting over and doing the work to get it. Simple as that. So I'm here to tell you, yes, it's okay to start over. No, don't be scared of it. And as long as you'll continue to be scared of it, you'll notice that you're still in the same place and you're going to feel the same as you felt before you started over, because that's exactly where you are. The only person keeping yourself in this stuck place, in this stuck mindset, in this stuck mentality is you. I'm going to tell you guys that too. Do not blame the people around you. Do not blame. This personally is also something I learned for myself. Do not blame what happened to you. Do not blame what people did to you. Do not blame the way that you grew up. Do not blame the future that you want on what you could be getting right now. It's nobody else's fault that you're still stuck except you. Yes, people did X, Y, and Z to you. I 100% understand that as somebody who has been through the same things. That's why I'm speaking from me. A lot of people have done a lot of things to me. And for a lot of my life, when I couldn't advance in my life, when I couldn't get the things I wanted in my life, I blamed everybody else. I blamed, oh, this person did that to me. This person did me dirty. I lost this friend in 2017. I lost this friend in 2019. I lost this connection in 2021. I fell off with this person in 2023. I blamed everything else that happened to me over why I couldn't get a better me. And that's exactly what blocked me from getting a better me. You can't get anywhere if you don't start with you. You also have to realize that in a lot of scenarios, sometimes you were at fault. You can't get the change that you want if you don't recognize your own role in the things that happened in your life. At all. You can't sit here and point the fingers and try to hold everybody else accountable for something you're supposed to be holding yourself accountable for. I had to realize that in a lot of situations and a lot of the ways I am the way that I am now is because of me. I had a personal role in the things that have happened in my life. I've had a personal role in the connections that I have lost with people. That's on me. And the second I recognized, okay, the way I'm acting and the way I'm thinking is because of me, and because I'm thinking this way, I can't get anywhere, that's when things started to change. Today, I woke up and I held myself accountable for never being able to get up before 12 p.m. That's nobody else's fault. That's my fault. And the second I held myself accountable for that, Look at that. I'm up 2 hours earlier than I'm normally up, and I'm up and out of this dorm before 12 p.m. And I done did a million things today because I held myself accountable for me not being able to be productive. It's nobody else's fault. Currently, yes, there are some things that may be at fault, but as long as you keep acknowledging that other people are at fault from it, what are you going to get out of it? What are you going to get out of it? As long as you keep holding resentment and all these feelings towards all the other people because you want to keep pointing fingers at them and you're not pointing the own fingers back on yourself, you're not getting anything out of anything. Until you learn the lessons, sometimes, yes, we're placed in situations to learn lessons from other people, but sometimes we're placed in situations to learn lessons about ourselves. Clock it. And until you sit back and you look at yourself and you're like, what is my role in the situations I'm in? What is my role in the feelings I'm feeling? What is my role in the mindset that I have? Until you do that, you will never get to where you want to be. Ever. Ever. But I'm going to stop there because even though I've been side-eyeing these voice whatever you want to call it, the voice memos for the last, I don't know how long. I have no idea how long I've been talking. And I don't want to make this first episode as long as ever. But I did want to talk to you guys because I'm feeling better. And okay, one more thing before I cut this off. But the last podcast I had, I guess you can say, because this is a whole new one, I spoke in like, you know how when you go to like a business interview or you're talking to a little kid or like a stranger that you don't know, you put on like that business like soft voice, like, let me do it real quick. Hi everybody and welcome to, yeah, that's exactly how I was talking, and that was another part that I just didn't like. And so I also figured that me turning on the camera, I feel like I screamed in half of this episode. I'm gonna listen back on it eventually, but I figured that putting myself on camera will also do two things. It'll benefit my camera presence, like it'll help it, but it'll also bring out the personality that I wanted to bring out for this podcast. Sorry, I got a notification. Anyway, yeah, I thought that bringing out the camera will put me at an advantage when it comes to me warming up to my camera again, and then also put me at an advantage for the personality that I've been said that I wanted to bring to this podcast. So now it's the best of both worlds, and because I have like 5 hours left, I keep saying I have 5 hours left on this SD card, but I swear I'm probably down at 4 now because of how much I've talked on it. Besides the point, I have a good bit of storage left on this, so because of that, I can start doing my videos and my episodes on here. Shout out to me for buying that fat SD card with a lot of storage on it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode just as much as I did, because I really did enjoy talking to you guys. I enjoyed making this episode. I'm gonna back the mic away from me. Anyway, I just hit it off the desk. I enjoyed making this episode. I enjoyed talking to you guys. And make sure to stay tuned for my episodes that are coming out every Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific time and 6 p.m. Eastern time. Which, if you're living on the eastern side of the U.S., quite literally, 6 p.m. is your time. So make sure to tune into these episodes every Sunday at 6. And also make sure to tune into my YouTube videos that come out every Monday, also at 6. I just like the number 6. Don't ask me why, because I wouldn't be able to tell you. My favorite number is not even 6, but it just sounds professional. So we're going to keep it that way. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and tune in for the next one. And I will see you guys then. Bye.